Yeah, I did.
The fan fiction, I thought, was pretty tasteful.
No, I mean, yeah, it was pretty tasteful.
So, yeah.
Which is why I think we should take it further.
No. No.
The key in any art form is to always keep going and never stop.
Yeah, you want to be told to tone it down. That's what you want.
Okay.
Go until you say, I should have stopped.
Okay, as a connoisseur.
Speaking of which, we should stop right now, because we're live. Hey, everybody, my name's Will. Forever DM, for now. Or maybe, always, I don't know.
Something's in the works.
Something's in the works.
What?
I need to check in the works. Anyway, welcome back to Wayward 7. Before we get started tonight, of course, as always, we have some cool announcements that you should listen to very closely.
And cool people.
Okay, cool. Anyway, Ethan!
Yes. Hello. Listen very carefully. Jack is here. He's not normal.
Hi, Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Why is
so? It's November now, and what that means is we are nearing both the end of Act 1.
Oh, yeah.
And also the 1-year anniversary of when we started streaming, which, wouldn't you know, we intentionally planned to sort of coincide.
Who would have thought?
So with that being said, this arc is going to be wrapping up within the next week or two.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take a little break until December. But that doesn't mean that you're going to take a break. So we've got some extra little bonus things that we're
You've got work to do.
Yeah. Hold up, buddy. Your job's not over.
Look, we just have some little stopgap episodes, some little bonus content. So we've got some little side quests that we're going to fill that space with, that we're going to be recording. But then, more importantly, on the 30th, on the anniversary itself of our very first Wayward 7 episode, we are going to sit down and have a chat.
Yeah.
All of us as a cast are going to have a talk back. So we'll go through, we'll talk about maybe some of our favorite moments, we'll answer some questions that you have, which reminds me, leave questions that you have in the comments, and also something Lauren will talk about. Yeah. Give us some questions that we can answer about the Wayward 7, Act 1, about D&D in general, and we'll be happy to get to those. We'll talk about that, and it's going to be a good time. Leave those questions, and then also, again, as we come up on 1 year, go ahead and log yourself as one of the first year people. Yeah. What's the word?
Underground.
Centennial.
One of the OGs.
OGs. OGs, man.
Veterans.
So just
First. I'm
First.
Yeah.
I've never been in the comment section this early.
First.
No, but one of the first subscribers.
Yeah.
In our first year of existence.
One of our first.
And turn on the notification bell, because, as I mentioned, we got some bonus content coming out. We got some things that aren't going to be on our weekly uploads, so you subscribe and turn on the bell, and you'll be notified when those things come out, and you won't miss any content.
Awesome. Thank you, Ethan. All right, I've got some stuff over here.
And back to you, Lauren.
Thank you, Reagan. Back to me. Anyway, so if you, for some reason, aren't, got that little bell, you can go on Instagram and TikTok at the Wayward 7, and that's where I keep updates. You can also, when we have our bonus content coming out aside from the regular scheduled, I will also post that as reminders. And you can leave questions for me and for our cast on there, on Instagram. I'm pretty active on there. But, we will also, for those of you who are joining us now, who are just now finding this channel and stuff, that... Hey. Oh, what? For those of you, our year... Sorry, my words aren't working right now. But when we're having our little podcast where we're asking for questions and stuff is also when we're going to be doing a look back and kind of catching everyone up on
Act 1 recap.
Yep.
Act 1 recap and questions. All sorts of stuff.
Fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Lauren. Cool. So, something we forgot to mention before we get started. I will be voting someone off the island, so put your votes in tonight for who's getting voted. have to do that when the camera fading in. I had this whole thing planned, and it's just Chewbacca in the corner.
You think.
You had.
Yeah, Ethan. Wow, Ethan.
Ethan.
Wow.
I wish I could do that. What do you mean?
Go ahead, demonstrate.
Nobody's starting with inspiration today, that's for sure.
Hey.
So, last time we left off in our very special Halloween episode,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was
a
big
lot
one.
happened.
Yeah.
And if you stay tuned, there was about 5 hours of a lot happening.
Quick thank you to everyone who actually made it through
Yeah,
all of
Thank
that.
you for watching.
You
the
all
episode,
get points of
guys.
inspiration.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
The audience gets inspiration, and they get an extra bonus on who to vote off the island.
Oh,
That being
what?
said,
What does this mean?
that being said, last time we left off, the party did a lot. They talked to some people, they discovered some things about themselves, and in a short recap, Gwen died. But, for starters, there
The
were some
highlight.
happy reconnections, a meeting of families, both Gwen and Nastani's, reconjoining, finally coming into town, as a lot of people are now finally filling in as the races ended, and people have had time to get back. That being said, some short quests were made, some fun ones, I hope. And you guys made some money here and there, but you returned for the dawning of Hess, the Allbreaker, and his championship fight. A fight that probably could have gone a lot smoother in his favor, and one that he did not really save much of a trophy for, as he decided to fist fight a bear, and wasn't as smooth as it could have been.
Heck of
Probably.
a show, though.
Heck of a show.
Great show.
Unfortunate.
Great show. Every ticket was worth
Take
it.
a shot every time someone revives the other person.
We'll get there. So, after some heated debates with Nastani's family, between the Forerunners and the ideas of Nikolaus and whatever he has going on in life between him and Nastani, some other revelations were made as Chris was visited by some dream dragonborn, this larger, darker, more handsome and stronger dragonborn than him. But through this conversation that he had, maybe some negative reinforcement was used, but it caused Chris to reflect, which affected things for the rest of the day. But that being said, as the arena fight of the Forerunners eventually came on the horizon, there was preparations for a grand entrance with Silas Reeves and both of Gwen's brothers, Winslow and Throp. The grand entrance wasn't as grand as they hoped, but they tried. There was an effort made. But in the arena fight itself, they came across a lindworm, a creature that Chris was familiar with. However, it seemed altered for some reason. And as they announced this creature as Nixara, the umbral serpent of the Wraith Woods, it was a harrowing fight, a vicious cycle of life and death constantly at the center of the field that culminated with one person standing. And as Chris brought down, thank you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
But as the fight culminated, the ultimate climax of Chris, the sole survivor, the last standing, dropping a crane down and onto the creature's back, piercing it, and then slamming it repeatedly into these spiked crystals until it moved no longer. The only one of you at this table conscious to see it, Herb, you watch as Chris lets out a furious roar, stumbling back, covered in blood and viscera, half chewed up and spit out. You watch as he just drops to his knees, leans back, and goes completely catatonic. The light fades from his eyes, and you watch as he just slumps over. But that being said, Herb, as you push yourself up off your seats, running down as fast as you can, you see Gwen crumpled on the ground. You going for her?
Yeah.
As you do, you hear a familiar voice. Herb, what are you doing?
She's dead.
You're stumbling down. And for a second, as you kind of look back to see it, you see Valora, and you just see her. And you watch as she kind of stands up, running down, much wider stride than you. That scoots you up, and you kind of watch as there's a very quick rush of movement as you are raced down there.
The fleet.
The fleet. She's so fleet.
But Herb, as you look about, I need everybody who's unconscious to make a death saving throw.
That's me.
That's also me.
Yep.
17.
Yeah. 17, that's a success.
11.
A success. I don't believe you died yet. So, Herb, as you race down, you see there's cheering from a lot of the crowd, but some of them look shocked, horrified. They're unsure, and you kind of see as gates are rising, you see members of Hroskar, some unfamiliar members as well, kind of rushing the field now from the separate gates that are, encompass the arena. Make a perception check for me, Herb, as you're being rushed over there. Valora's fairly
I want to get
fast.
a $20,000 fine for rushing the field.
Well,
Nat 20
Nat 20? Wow.
plus 5.
Okay, cool. Plus 5, so 25 total. Nat 20. So, Herb, you're from your vantage point, as Valora is kind of, carrying you, probably more like kind of a underhanded carry in football.
On the
You
field.
still kind of get a good view of everything going around. The mix of shock, horror, awe. You see King Egil kind of standing up, looking down on everything, just kind of taking in everything. You see Mithra, his loyal wizard, just kind of also just nervously viewing everything. And as you see other members of the guard rush the field, you notice some of them clad in this heavy kind of bright plate mail, not Hroskar. Make a religion check for me.
7.
7. You don't really recognize what they are, but they're slow moving. They're not fast, unfortunately. They're not the fleet. They're not the fleet. And from what you can glean, they appear to be healers, but they won't make it in time. Not for some people. But that being said, you do see others in the crowd who are fighting and getting through. Most noticeably, you notice both Winsel and Throp, the brothers of Gwyneth, who are trying to push past, but the kind of Hroskar up on the stands are kind of holding them back. And as you're kind of watching this, quickly you see a figure, kind of large, wide brim hat that you recognize as Silas, as you watch him swing something at the side of the guard who's holding them back. You recognize the butt of the gun with your 25, and you watch as he throws him to the side. The brothers hop off the ledge, and you watch as Silas kind of looks down, scans the audience, and you watch as he just disappears.
He's so cool.
And then
Oh,
reappears
Stud.
a little bit ahead of you guys.
Oh.
So, the brothers, as they kind of run by, you catch up, you get to Gwen's body. And as you kind of sit in front of it, you kind of watch as the brothers are hoofing it towards you, and you watch as Silas is also just kind of dead sprinting that way. He kind of takes notice, sees that you're kind of next to Gwen, and then runs immediately over to where Nastani is, as he starts to take out a flask. That being said, as the brothers run up, what are you doing?
Usually I need some diamonds.
Valora takes you. What?
It kind of has some value. I have to add some value to make the spell special and for it to work.
Valora looks at you, looks at the guards who are also rushing the field. Well, you better figure it out fast. I don't have diamonds on me. Puts you down. Looks about. Valora sees something, and I would say with your 25, you see what she's looking at too, and you see her get nervous. Amongst the groups of guards, you notice that there's 3 kind of clusters, and she's looking at the nearest cluster. And at the center of this cluster, you see what appears to be a very large orc. Shaved head, kind of a thick, kind of tightly trimmed beard, massive kind of spiked tusks. You kind of see one of the ears is kind of mangled a bit, and kind of has all these kind of piercings that go down the other one. I would say, no, you wouldn't know because you're Herb. You were born not too long ago.
You were born
But I'll
5
say,
days ago.
also make a history check. Make a history check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yeah, because you are still technically the incarnation of someone who did live here.
My brothers wouldn't have happened to have
5.
diamonds.
5. You don't recognize this orc, but you can see that he stands tall above the other guards. These massive kind of tangle of snake tattoos that go down to each palm and kind of coil back around. Is just kind of booking it towards you guys.
Whoa.
And you see Valora look up. She's like, "Do it faster, faster. Whatever you're doing, do it faster. Otherwise, I'm leaving."
Oh.
But I'd say at this point, Winslow and Throp kind of run up, and then kind of Winslow kind of turns towards Throp and is kind of fidgeting with something in his bag and pulls out a small potion and starts kind of like force feeding Gwen.
You got any diamonds?
Is she gonna be okay?
If you give me some diamonds.
They kind of stop and look about.
I probably think he's trying to get payment. Bring her back up.
They know the hustler's life.
Stealing.
You see Throp kind of dig through the bag and just hand you a fistful of jewels. Whatever you gotta do, come on, do it!
I'm gonna take out my little plant.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put the diamonds on the plant, and I'm gonna set the plant on top of Gwen, and then I'll try and use Revivify.
Okay. With just the fistful of jewels he handed you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that work? Does not?
You can certainly try.
Well,
You didn't look at the jewels. Alright, go ahead and roll me a d20. Or, you know what? Let's make this more dramatic. Get the big one. The d100.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll see
do
if
I
they're...
roll?
We'll, what,
50-50?
tell me what the value of the diamond you need.
Worth 100 GP.
Okay. 100 gold
100
pieces.
is
Go ahead and roll me that d100 and tell me what you get.
33.
As you go to cast the spell, it almost finds connection. In your fistful of gems, the bag that Throp gave you, you feel that there might be some in here, but you're just off the top. I would say, as Valora kind of sees this going on, she looks about, sees Icarus, and runs over towards him. What did you need? Diamonds?
Diamonds.
And starts patting down Icarus. Icarus, do you have any diamonds on you?
The problem is I kept track with my dice, and I totally forgot where I left off last time.
You had 10, right?
I had 10. I don't remember how many I shot. I want to say...
I don't think you shot all 10.
6.
No, you didn't shoot all 10.
I want to say I shot 6.
Okay, we'll say 6. And you keep those in your quiver, I assume. So, easy enough. You kind of watch as Valora roots through it, picks out 4 diamond bolts, and throws them at you, Herb. She kind of takes a second, looks down at Icarus, and reaches into her bag and pulls out a potion and starts force feeding Icarus.
Weird!
As Silas force feeds Nastani a potion. So, Icarus, this is her tiny one. So, okay. Icarus, you heal 8 points.
Ooh, yeah.
Nastani.
Icarus is in love. he like wakes up, like looks up.
The flow, yeah, the hair, and
It's
like the
in
kind
that
of golden
scene in The
horns. Yeah,
Sandlot
it's
when he
yeah.
goes to the pool.
It's just
It's like she's like holding up and
yeah. You got
you
your
know,
head on.
feeds him.
Yeah,
and he's like, and she just like drops him
Yeah.
and runs back.
leaves the bottle in her mouth.
Wendy Peppercorn.
Nastani, you heal 11 points.
Ooh,
Um,
likes me.
but as the bolts are thrown to you, trying to cast a spell again.
Yeah.
All right. So as you go to cast a spell, Icarus, there were 4 of them.
Do I see this happening now?
Can I reuse,
You're in the process.
Can I reuse the same gems?
It didn't spend it because the spell didn't cover. So as you hold the bag and now the bolts, and you once again place them next to the plant that you put on top of Gwyneth, going to cast a spell. It only lasts. It's only for people who died within a minute, right? Okay. We'll see if it works. Go ahead and roll a d100.
I want to
35. Okay. Good to know.
I want to try and strengthen the connection so bad, but I can't do anything because
Okay.
I'm still waking up.
So, as you press the kind of components down, once again, just trying to bring back Gwen. Her brother's right over your shoulders, just kind of watching, confused. You kind of watch as there's this sick kind of crunching noise as you press down once again. And you watch as the arms snap back, and you see Gwen's eyes kind of flutter open for a second. Back to reality. Inspiration.
Inspiration?
For Ethan, for some reason to that. But Herb, I'll give you inspiration too. As when you open your eyes, and there you see Herb and both of your brothers leaning over you. Your brothers, just tears running down their faces. Just as soon as they see your eyes, you see they go wide. Just pick you up. It hurts, but they squeeze you so hard. And that's when you see.
You take 5 points.
It hurts for you. It hurts for you, but it's not enough to do damage compared to what you just went through. And as you're kind of taken for a second, you're just conscious enough to watch as the orc tackles Herb to the ground, and you watch as other Hrothgar tackle down Silas, and you watch as Valor just runs.
Can I try and push my brother, let him go,
You can try. You just came back
I
from the
know,
verge
I
of
do
death.
come back.
Just so you know, you have 3 points of exhaustion.
Okay. Then can I yell out to let him go, stop, please.
You yell out. It doesn't quite seem to sway whatever they're doing, as they kind of have Herb on his back and Silas too, just kind of holding their arms down. And you watch as Herb, are you fighting back or just laying down?
I'll just lay down.
Okay, you lay down. Silas does not. Silas is fighting it as he's being arrested. And you kind of see your brothers kind of just hold up one hand to each, still keeping the other arm on you. And there's kind of a moment where the guards are kind of separating people out. Laura's, she get away? Laura's gone. I would say those of you with a high enough perception could view as Valora runs towards the main gate you guys entered, kind of stops when it's closed. Watch as Clone Valora pops up on the other side, and then they switch places, and she keeps running.
She's so cool. She's whoa. Icarus is wait.
You left your bottle.
So awesome.
I never send me a pigeon.
Keeping the bottle.
Yeah, I want to give it back to her. She's gonna want it. Yeah. But there is a very tense moment as more and more guards kind of show up, kind of wrestling, and eventually the competitors here, you guys are separated from the others as they're kind of pushing you away, and you watch as the more heavily armored clerics kind of stop over, kind of check you over, and begin to cast their kind of healing rituals, closing your wounds and making sure everybody's okay. But as the dust kind of settles, you kind of see Herb. You went peacefully, so you're kind of just standing there, arms behind back in very small handcuffs.
I had to
very,
like-
very
Why
small
do they have
manacles.
baby-sized handcuffs?
There's gnomes. Gnomes are a thing.
I had to improvise with someone's hair tie.
Yeah, it's not much, and you might be able to break out of these if you tried, but as long as you're being peaceful, it kind of just lets you be. Opposed to Silas, who is they are having to hog tie him down, as this is obviously not something he wants. And you kind of see the orc kind of rub his jaw a bit. Sorry you got caught up in all that. We'll get these bystanders out of the way.
Why are
They were helping.
Why are they? Huh?
Everything is under control. Please just
But why did they get?
apologies. And
No.
you kind of watch as he kind of ushers towards the guards and
Wait!
Why are they getting arrested?
make a persuasion check. See if you can stop him.
While they're focused on them, can I separate my arms from my body?
19.
Like untangle your arms. Make a sleight of hand check. 19. Okay, the word kind of stops. What?
He had to save her life. It was
Nat 20.
There you go. He had to save her life. You look at Herb and just arms untangled. The manacles drop to the ground, and he goes to him. Get the back on.
It was urgent. He wouldn't have.
Look, we have clerics. No one's supposed to interfere with this. We have procedures.
Maybe you should
No.
hire me.
Go through the proper system. Get out! Why are we talking to you?
Why don't
Wait,
walk
wait,
around?
Are they like arrested or just like being
Escorted out.
escorted out of the arena? Because that's kind of important. I would like for the first option to happen.
He kind of stops and looks up. You're being escorted out. You went peacefully. That one over there
No!
assaulted a guard
He didn't mean to.
and has been
Oh,
fighting
yeah,
back.
he
So
didn't.
I'm sure a few days in the well will help him out.
The well.
The prison. So he kind of watches. He snaps, and one of the guys kind of takes the spears and kind of pushes him forward and kind of. Well, I'll see y'all later, I guess.
Silas.
This'll be fine. Ain't the first time.
What's your fail?
Come find me later, I guess.
We'll find you. Thank you, Silas.
Yeah.
What's happening to my brothers? Are they fine?
They're peaceful too, and they're just kind of being escorted out. They're kind of. We'll see you after at your place, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll.
I'm
There's-
sorry. I shouldn't have done it.
No, no,
You said it. You told me.
You're wonderful. You did wonderful. It's beautiful, Gwyneth. Really. And you kind of see they're escorted out the front gate. But Herb, you're kind of walked outside, and kind of you watch as one of the guards looks down. Don't do that again.
You should hire me.
What do you mean? I'm not.
He's the best detective this land's got.
I'm not hired. Go talk to the guard station then.
Okay.
So.
Side quest.
That being said, as the rest of you are left standing, you notice something is still awry. The clerics that have, done their checkups on you had left to go check on Chris. And both of them were kind of standing next to him, dumbfounded. Chris is just still on his knees, leaned back, eyes wide open.
I'm gonna walk over. I'm sorry. Is everything okay with Chris, our teammate?
One of the clerics kind of looks up. I'm not sure. He's not responding.
Can I try something? Okay, I'm gonna walk over. I'm kind of
They
gonna.
should recall me.
I'm gonna lean down with him and like put like a hand on his shoulder so there's physical contact. I'm gonna try and connect with him telepathically. Chris, are you okay?
There's no response.
We a dream guy? Are you there by chance?
No response. Go ahead and make insight check.
Can I take a look at him, like, physiologically? Like, see, like, check a pulse, see...
Sure. Yeah,
What's going on?
make a medicine check.
Yeah, I can do that.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You're connecting to a consciousness. It just seems to be preoccupied. He's in there, but either he can't hear you or he's just not responding.
Okay. I'm gonna like turn back to the clerics. So his conscience is there. He's just not responding. Is he physically well?
What'd you get for your
11.
11? I would say everything seems normal other than being beaten within an inch of his life and then coming back to it and being beaten to an inch of his life again.
And then being back to it.
And then back to it again. He is looking rough. He's cut up, he's bruised. There are large puncture wounds in his back where he's been bitten by the umbral serpent. But I would say you do notice one thing, Icarus. The small black horns on the back of his head have grown larger. About twice in size. But,
Does he have his journal on him?
we'll get to that. Nastani, as you ask your question, clerics, they kind of turn and look. We don't know what's wrong with him. He should be. We healed up his wounds. He should be good with time, but there's no response. We don't know why he's not responding. If it's all right, we're going to take him to the temple.
Which temple?
The Temple of Battle, center town.
Okay.
You'll find it city center. Look for the statues of the sun. Sun's typically
Temple of Halo?
Battle, yeah.
But when he's alright, he'll be able to leave, right?
Of course.
What's Palor's domain again?
Make a religion check.
8.
8. I would say the base knowledge you have, from not really being a very prominent deity in Cilicia, you know that, he is a deity of justice, of the sun, that is kind of his domain, the daylight. And you know that he's called by many names, ones you've heard, probably Radiant Lord, the Father of Morning Sun. There are many references that you can use for him. But outside of that, it's kind of just general knowledge. But he kind of watches the clerics kind of call over some of the other guards, and they start to bring out what appears to be a stretcher of some sort, and kind of gently lay Chris down on top of it, and watches the guards kind of lift him. The cleric's just kind of looking over him. We'll send him home when he's ready, but feel free to visit him at the temple anytime. If you come to visit, ask for Sister Rosemary.
Sister Rosemary?
She'll likely be in charge of this. With that, the clerics take Chris out, head out of the stadium. So,
Question, do I see my family still in the arena?
you do. You see Nikolaus, who kind of leaning forward in his seat, just carefully observing, taking everything in, watching, calculating. You see him thinking. And you kind of see Eris, who's kind of looking up, making sure you're okay, and she's kind of sees you walking around. You see there's a big relief and just sigh from her, as well as Deviri, who's just kind of like constantly sword at the ready to jump.
She would have been the first one down there.
And just Murtaz with a hand right on her shoulder, just.
Is Zinhad just like chilling?
He's smiling. Murtaz is Zinhad are taking it easy.
Okay. Nastani is kind of embarrassed and does not want to acknowledge them, so she won't.
So, as you stand up, once again, the steps are formed as Mithra's magic comes into fruition, as she kind of steps down and as announcing, "Congratulations, champions! This has been quite the daunting effort, with a spectacular finish. So we thank you for these wonderful entertainments of tonight." As she's kind of stepping down, but she reaches down to the bottom where you guys are at.
Are we supposed to carve our own trophy? Or
No,
do they?
Mithra just looks at it as she steps in. "We would like to thank the Forerunners for tonight and congratulate all of you on your victory."
I like weekly just.
Yeah, just bloody fists in the air. Yeah, there's at this point, now that everybody's okay, as you do this, kind of standing up on one of those higher perches, there's a roar from the audience.
Gwen puts her fist up and
Yeah.
like with them, like after he does.
Yeah.
Fist up, but like holding my bow in my fist.
Sounds good. As you guys just stand there, taking in the moment. It was hard fought. It was real tough, but you all survived. If only all of you could be here. But as Mithra kind of begins to dismiss the audience, thanking them all for coming and going on with the ceremony, a lot of this is drowned out. You've heard it before. Still weighs heavy. A lot's happened in the past few minutes. But as you kind of hold that fist, the bloody fist up in the air for a second, Icarus, eventually the voice kind of pipes up. Mr. McNamara. You kind of see Mithra, who's kind of. Yes. You were the closest one to the kill, as the killer, Chris, is not here. It's my understanding he was taken away
Yes.
to see clerics.
Yes, he's at the temple.
So, if you would like to pronounce the trophy, you may. A piece of the serpent as a whole, or
what's the thing look like?
So-
Because
How mangled.
yeah,
last time I was conscious, this thing was still alive.
yeah. But,
So sort of looking now.
looking now, the beast is gargantuan in size. It's a large serpent, but almost has most of an upper torso with shoulder blades and these kind of very spiked two large claws for hands. You see these long kind of golden wisps that trail off its body that at some point gave off this dark shadow. No more though. It is still and it is quiet as you see the main source of its death. The hook of the kind of boulder lifting device from the quarry impaled directly into its back with two large crystals jutting out. And then you see where Chris dealt the final blow, a crystal coming straight to the middle of the skull, but more importantly, two fist-sized indents where he slammed down on that thing as hard as possible. And you see the muddle of black scales. There's a bit of blue in there as well from Chris.
Oh.
I'm gonna like. If I could think for
Please,
just a moment.
please take your time. Discuss it amongst your compatriots.
Yes.
Oh, we can openly discuss. Okay.
Yes, it was simply a formality that you were the successor in claiming the kill.
Right.
Can I suggest something? And I don't care anything else. Can we? This might be gruesome. Can we take a tooth for Chris?
Are you asking Mithra?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway.
She's kind of leaning in the conversation. Yes, take whatever you wish.
Like.
You're free to take whatever you want.
Oh.
Give me a bone.
Can I get a bone?
But please do select a carve or a section of this beast that you would like. Valora chose some specific parts from her fight, and Hess chose a few claws. But you're free to pick.
As like the trophy? Or
Yes, yes, yes.
That's no trophy.
Yes.
Okay.
The whole thing.
I guess.
Besides a tooth.
I should mention the judging will be based upon the pristineness of this creature.
What's the most pristine part of this?
Make a, I'll say nature or
Can I
survival.
give a help?
Yeah, you
with
can.
that?
There you go.
Guidance.
Whoa.
Nature, survival, or medicine. Let you
Nature,
pick.
survival.
And you have advantage from Icarus, and you have guidance from what?
I'm gonna do medicine,
Okay, go for it.
and then guidance is
1d4.
1d4.
D4.
I haven't played
And
Baldur's
advantage.
Gate. We played. We know how to play it. Well, that was not really good.
You have advantage.
I know. I know. 5.
5 total. Sonny, as you eye it up and down.
3 and a 4.
Okay, it wasn't a 1 though, right? This is a dragon. So,
Oh.
your hunter thing, if being a ranger adds anything to this,
Let me check wrong. That was embarrassing.
it's okay. Just
Oh, okay, hold on. I have advantage on survival checks.
Double advantage.
Yeah.
I'm sick.
If she
Hold on.
already had advantage as a ranger, could I make a check myself?
I'll allow it. Nastani is smashed. Smashed to bits.
We serve a benevolent DM.
A gracious one he is.
Okay. Let me. I
I'm,
will.
I'm just woken up. I'm just really.
I will slot this under survival.
Okay, go for it.
I beat.
Okay. 21.
Okay. Nastani, as you look at it, you're beat, you're pooped. It's pretty tough. Your eyes still have, they're very bloodshot. They're very kind of rough. And you kind of give it a once over and shrug, and Icarus, walking over, taking a more careful look. You saw a lot more of the creature when it was alive.
Saw a lot of it.
Not as much as say Chris or Gwen.
We saw
Internally,
it.
but
All of it.
I would say things that you notice that are appealing for trophies. There are both the things. Neither of them were smashed. One of the eyes was, but the other eye is this large, almost ruby-like gem for its eyes. About the size of a soccer ball, a football from across the pond. Anyway, sorry. And I would say you noticed, other than those, there are some nice large scales. Some of these spikes that grow off the sides of the arms. There's one or two of the talons that seem savable. And on its back, these two long golden strands. Maybe one of those. And because you said 21.
Yep.
I would say another one that looks fairly decent would probably be the tail. The kind of extent of the tail would be very nice.
All the above.
Could we grab the menu for reference?
Sure.
Could
if
we
you'd
do
like?
all the above, please?
I mean, it's just, you know,
I have a little mini.
it looks great,
Well,
so I
thank
mean,
you.
we may as well, you know, just show it off again. Just, you know, just we
Slip first.
may as well, you know.
Do you want me to put it in this camera real quick?
Yeah, so you have
Look
a,
at
I'd
it.
say with 21, you have a pretty good pick. I would also say, you know, Mithra's allowing you to carve these. She's allowing you to take whatever you want. If you had any interesting pieces you might want to grab for merchants to sell, or to take to maybe any vendors who could turn them into something else, you are free to do that as well.
She said, like Heston Valora had like some selections, right? Like they had like multiple pieces
They had-
submitted.
Yeah, Valora, I would say, Herb, you would definitely know. I guess Herb, you're standing outside the gate.
Herb was escorted out.
I would say, about 10 minutes later though, Herb, they'd let you back in because the gate's just open if you'd like to walk back out.
They're like, go outside for 5 minutes. And
It's the SpongeBob. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. All right, time's up.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, at this point, you know, most of the people have left the arena. The gates are open. So, Herb, if you'd like to walk out, you're welcome to. But I would say you guys would know that Valora kind of took a very quick kind of minute selecting what parts of her creature that she wanted to dissect, and she took some of it for herself and told Mithra to take some of the other parts. Hest was very much ripped off claws, handed it to Mithra, and kept some things for himself.
Maybe the tail, I would say.
Yeah, I guess the tail could be a decent trophy, and at least one of these, I think.
What about the
are
eye?
significant.
Yeah, maybe that and then the eye.
Yeah.
Eye, one of the tendrils, tail.
So if you guys would like to spend time carving these out and seeing how those carves come,
Oh yeah, let's
Yep.
do that.
you can.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about the fangs? Do you want to keep those?
That could
I
be.
think I would like to have those personally.
If we're only
Amongst
using,
us.
How much of it do you think you
It has lots of teeth. Like
need? Oh, okay.
if you look
Yeah.
inside the mouth, there's maybe 8 or 7 rows of teeth that are just kind of splintered around the fangs. But the fangs themselves are maybe about 4 feet in length each.
I want to extract one of the teeth. I want to make Chris like a little shark tooth.
That's really cute.
Out of it.
Sure.
I say we take the fangs, and I want to take some teeth to see if I can turn them into arrowheads.
Oh,
Sure.
cool. Yeah.
I would say as you get this idea going for the teeth, they almost just slip out.
Ooh.
They kind of just pop out, just like shark's teeth.
It's very easy. It's not like pulling teeth.
What's your strength, Glenn?
Take away that inspiration.
God.
No, I'm about to use it.
My strength modifier?
Just your strength total, the number.
10.
10? Okay, yeah, you don't have an issue with this. I'd say you can pick as many as you want.
We'll just take a couple,
Okay.
to make, and then I help them extract whatever we
Sure.
want for the trophy.
How many arrows come in a bundle? Is it like 10?
About 20.
20? Is there
You can buy them in bundles of 20. You can buy them in bundles of 50. You can buy them in bundles of 100.
enough for me to get 20?
Yeah. There's 8 rows of teeth, top and bottom.
I'm gonna take 20 of the like smaller teeth to see if I can turn into arrowheads.
Sure.
And we said we were only giving one of the golden tendrils.
Tendrils.
Yes.
Yeah.
While you two are doing this, Icarus. You going for the trophy?
Yeah.
Mithra is there to help you if you wish.
Okay. Let's, so we said tail, eye, tendril?
Yeah.
Which start
I guess, well, in semantics, since they're already up at the head, we'll just start with the tail.
with? Okay, sweet. So you go down the end of the tail. It's extremely long and very whip-like towards the end. It gets down almost as thin as your finger towards the end, but quite the taper. But that being said, what length of this creature? It was about 80 feet in length. So comfortably, I'd say, looking at it, you could probably get 20 feet of tail. That would start to get big.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So as you go to carve, make a medicine check, and Mithra will kind of oversight and help, so give you advantage.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
Nice. Yeah, easy enough. Take the dagger. Mithra kind of looks over her shoulder and just, you got it. As you start to carve and eventually coil up this tail, 20 foot length of umbral serpent tail. So, Herb, are you grabbing anything while they're here?
I think I was chilling. I'm not really.
Okay.
Did they take one of the tendrils?
Yeah, I was gonna. Well, yeah.
You can go try and take one.
I want to go try and slip one.
Okay. So you walk over to the tendrils. There's two of them. I'd say they'd probably both be in decent condition. You're just trying to like yank one out and run away. Got it. Okay, cool. Are you doing this sneakily or just going for it?
I'm just going for it.
Okay. Make a straight medicine check.
Can I make a perception check?
You're pulling
Because
teeth.
I was gonna get
You're
that
both
after
pulling
pulling
teeth.
teeth.
You're pulling teeth. Herb hasn't done anything yet.
If there's enough, can I actually also get, like, since I'm already doing it? While
7. Do you want to add anything to that or?
Yeah, can I add my d6?
Sure.
5,
5.
13, 12.
or 12.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd say you're just going for it. So you kind of walk up to one of the golden cords and just yank, and it kind of strips the almost these feather-like tendrils that kind of come off of this thing, but it just kind of pops off and it starts leaking this kind of blue fluid.
Put it around my neck, and I'm gonna walk home.
All right, and you guys watch as Herb just wraps around his neck like a feather boa. It's still like trailing a good like 8 feet behind him on both ends. Are you guys letting him take
No!
you?
What are you doing?
Okay, next time one of y'all dies, I will not do anything to help y'all.
No, just like, what are you doing? What are you,
What are you doing
that?
with it?
I don't know yet. I just
What?
want. Y'all got another one.
It tingles.
I am
Wait, continue.
sure. I was.
I can't fight him.
If anybody's gonna fight Herb, speak now or forever hold your peace.
I'm not gonna fight him.
Got it, Herb. You walk home with a nice feather boa. Well, you can do something with it later, I guess. Cool. So, we'll split the next carve into 2. Someone can go for the other tendril, and somebody can go for the eye.
I'm gonna go for the eye, and if I use my scimitar, would that help? Because it's specifically
Yeah,
for
you're
dragons.
just gonna make a roll regardless. So.
Okay. I didn't know if that would like.
You
help.
already have advantage. So,
It was a valid question.
okay, scimitar probably do more harm than good.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever done precision cutting
Scimitar.
with a scimitar.
I have. Can't say I have.
Can I harvest some of the scales?
Some scales? Sure. You can dig a dagger and start getting some scales. So go ahead and make a medicine check for that. And you can make a medicine check for getting the eye with advantage because if you're a hunter or you're a ranger, keep saying hunter's word. Ranger. And Icarus, you can go ahead and make that medicine check for the other tendril.
You said that was a what kind of check?
Medicine.
22.
22? And you're just going for scales? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You pull off some pretty big ones, about the size of dinner plates. A couple big ones, there's some smaller ones kind of towards the underside. But I mean,
How big are those?
the small ones, they're about the size of quarters. And you kind of, using the dagger, just kind of scraping them off, kind of like you clean a fish.
Yeah.
I'm still doing advantage on this?
Mithra's there.
18.
18. I'd say you start with the scimitar, putting in the eye and just kind of fishing around. don't really have enough dexterity there, so you instead take out a dagger and start kind of severing the eye versus trying to pry it. But you kind of pull it out. It's still squishy like an eye, but it has that ruby structure to it that really just leaves you confused.
Interesting.
What'd you get for yours?
19.
19. I would say you watched her just kind of yank it, and that kind of gave you some idea of like how loose they are, how fragile. And you kind of go over there more gingerly, taking the dagger, sever the cord, and just kind of neatly bundle it up with all the little fibers that seem to be very fragile on it. But you guys have 3 pretty good options here. What are you given? The Smither kind of turns. I can only take one.
I'll take the other.
No.
You got your prize.
I say either the eye or the tail.
Okay, so Hest gave some claws. What, Valor did some fillets or something?
What's prettiest?
Basically.
What's prettiest? The eye's gorgeous.
The eye's gotta
It's
be pretty.
disgusting though.
But like, is it the cleanest extraction?
I would say the tail was a simple extraction. The kind of the cord on the back was a bit more advanced, but it was done very cleanly. And the eye was also done fairly cleanly, but definitely, you know, if you had to take a wild guess.
Based off of like past trophies that we've gotten and like the quality
Sure.
and like overall just like worth of each cut of something, is there any like
Okay, well, I'll just pull this up. You would know that typically anything more personal to the creature goes for higher points. Your largest points came from the Arcana Spine Skull and the horn of the, eye drake.
yeah, the eye?
Either
So-
the eye or the
tendril.
gold tendril.
So something probably a bit more personal with the creature, more identifying.
If only Chris was here. He's the one who knew this creature.
He did know this creature.
Can I? Well, probably too late for me to ask if I can, because it's familiar in my country too.
Sure.
Would I be able to do like? Do I remember anything about this?
I
at
would
all?
say, okay, I'll let you just make an insight check on it, just a general insight. You have advantage because being a ranger, dragon's favorite. Go for it.
You said insight.
Mm-hmm.
16.
16. Judging on it, you've never encountered a lindworm in person. You've heard stories. You haven't heard stories like this. This creature does not fit the descriptions that you've had. Typically, in your stories that you've heard, they like to dig. They live underground. They live on coasts. They live, typically in mountainous places or soft soiled places, clay deposits, anything like that. This one definitely seems to be more on the serpent side, and hard to say. From fairy tales, sometimes their horns grant power. There's no horns on this one, though. Not invisible. So,
I'm leaning towards the tendril.
You think tendril over the eye?
Really? I was thinking the eye.
I'd say if you'd like to convey this information to everybody else, you can.
I am.
Okay. So, you all know about the fairy tales.
We can't give two.
That's what's
So just
stumping
take
me.
it.
Is
It just replaces your lowest score.
Right.
So, if I remember the tally correctly, and I believe I do, you had an egg that served as 5 points. So this, whatever you would like to choose, would likely usurp that.
We can give it Oh yeah, look
Captain
at
O,
you.
who has run away.
So give him their eye.
Yep.
All right. So you
Let's do
guys
that.
hand over the eye, and she kind of takes it. It's a little gooey, and she kind of and it disappears. Excellent. Well,
Do you want to get the fangs?
Yes.
okay. You go ahead and make it with advantage because I'm sure Nastani would help.
Yeah, I would also help.
Do you want to get some more teeth back?
Yeah, would I be able to also?
Sure, yeah, you guys can go grab whatever you want. But as you're doing this, Mithra's kind of talking. So
I was gonna do it after she
So,
was talking.
yes.
Yeah.
no. Continue. I can just listen while you're doing this. And you guys can all make your checks for your carving.
I'm just
pieces.
I'm help action.
Yeah, help action.
Go for it. So, So tomorrow morning we'll be announcing the winner.
Tomorrow morning.
So please be there.
What time tomorrow?
At dawn.
Dawn.
The rising sun. Yes.
Woo.
So,
Here?
It'll be at the courtyard, the square, town square, right in front of Castle Volhelm.
Okay.
So, if you could please be timely, I will be sending someone to fetch you.
Because we've been late to every event so far.
Well, it's more of a formality. All three top champions will be having someone sent after you. I believe I'll be sending Voland towards you. He is the Huskarl of the Lowlands. If you haven't met him. You haven't met him? Okay. He's one of the three Huskarls, so
Okay, Voland.
he's very cheery. But
Golden?
Voland,
Voland.
yes. Voland will be by tomorrow morning before dawn to collect you. Dress attire is formal for horse, if you know what I mean.
I
have a
hate to
question.
sound foreign
What is
in a
formal for
tourist.
us?
What is formal?
I would say all of you can make history checks if you want.
Because I'm like, formal?
Gwen is like, formal? 20.
20?
Yeah.
11.
19.
19. Gwyneth, you would probably know best as someone who lives here and someone who has encountered nobility of higher ranking members of people. The nobility here are a little different than the nobility that you've seen from, say, Cilicia or even Mizumi. There are the hoity-toity types that wear very fine silk clothes and very nice things like that, accessories. But you know that a large majority, such as King Egil and some others that you've met, tend to wear furs, armor, the finest, polished, handmade by the person typically wearing it. It's more pride than gold.
We just need to wipe the blood off of our armor.
Okay.
Probably buy some furs.
But yeah,
Some
maybe
nice,
We
something
have
to-
furs.
We do have first.
We can extract some from a bear or something. You know,
There's
the normal.
There's furs. Anyway, dress up for it. Even if you don't win, which
Don't look nice even if you're runner-up.
yes, well, there's prizes for all, and there's a grand ceremony. If you're not familiar with the ceremony, you will stand up on the. Have you had this conversation yet?
No.
Damn. Okay. Well, look. Here's what's going to happen. You will be there at dawn. There will be the opening dawn ceremony or the closing dawn ceremony. The Scold will be there, and he'll give a speech and do some prayers. And I just would request that you all look nice and be on your best behavior. The three Huskarls will also be there. And I noticed you have some difficult friends who may or may not be here at the moment. And I would ask that you ask them to be on their best behavior. So, I will send Voland after you. Where are you staying?
We're staying at the Brass Line.
All together?
In
Altogether.
In the
The
sweetness.
bronze horse.
What was
In the,
what was the sweet name? Dragon's Den?
Dragon.
The lion's den.
No.
It wasn't Lion's Den.
Dragon's Keep.
I'm
Dragon's Keep.
picking it up from her.
It's Dragon's Keep?
I believe it is.
Dragon's Keep.
Guys, I remembered.
I was like, did I write it down? For once, I did not
Screw
write it
you
down.
and your notes. I remember.
Okay, cool.
It's all
So,
up here, baby.
It's all here.
alright, what'd you get for the rest of your carbs?
20 plus 2.
Natural 20?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, easy enough. I'd say you guys carve which the rest you want from it. But that being said, as you finish your carbs, you can head back, whatever you want to do. Herb, as you walk down the street with your new golden cord, what are you doing?
I'm gonna walk home and show Laura what
Okay. So you walk home. Are you knocking on the door or just going in?
I'm going in.
Alright. You just push the door open and immediately okay, well that was great. Does a 14 hit you?
Oh my god.
You narrowly duck out of the way as a bow staff swings towards your head and slams into the wood, kind of with a slight crack now in the door frame. And she kind of looks down. It's you.
Look at what I
Would she
got.
have expected
Huh?
somebody his height?
She was just swinging low. Going for kneecaps, probably. What is that?
It's one of his little tendrils.
They let you go
Yeah,
and take that.
yeah.
Okay. Well, you're not arrested? I don't have to pay bail?
Oh, no. No, I'm fine.
Okay, well, that does clear things up, and that does prevent me from having to hide your body.
What can I do with this little thingy?
What?
Oh,
How the hell should I know? What is that? Where did you get
Are you
that?
saying he took it without knowing who it
this
was?
is the back of the little monster guy.
Why? Why did you take it?
I just thought I kind of needed it.
Why would you do that?
I just kind of needed it.
For what?
I don't know, that's what I was kind of asking you.
You're asking me why you needed it.
Yeah, what all can I do with it?
Do I look like I...
Do I look?
Make a, I'll say, make a persuasion check.
17.
17. She takes a second. The guards aren't coming after you,
No.
and they let you take it.
Yeah.
Are you lying to me?
No.
All right, I know someone we can take this to.
Booyah.
All right, and kind of see as she kind of puts on her warm vest for the night, and kind of takes the bag off the door and kind of puts it over her shoulder. Come on. And you guys head out into the night. So, the rest of you guys heading straight back to the lion?
Yeah.
Okay. So taking your trophies and heading straight back to the lion. What?
No. We haven't seen Grigori once here, have we?
Gregory is a bad guy. Gregory is a bad guy, and as much as I want to think about that, I physically cannot. Right now.
Yeah, you did die.
You know, I'd rather call it a short rest.
And just so you know, your death saves have gone up by 1.
Yeah, because
Just because you died.
so in like
Instead of a 10, it'll be an 11.
okay.
Yep. So just take a note of that.
Got it.
Cool. So, that being said.
It's not that I'm excited to run into him. I'm just worried about why we haven't yet.
I know.
That's what I meant.
It's a worry for sure.
Gregory is the kind of man to only show up when all the hard work has been done.
Sorry. that's
So,
funny.
you're having this conversation, and as you walk up the stairs, opening up the door to your suite, you see that the fires have been lit. There are kind of this deep incense throughout the room. It smells wonderful. And you notice that there are food trays that have been brought in and consumed. And sitting kind of at the hearth fire, speak of the devil and he shall
No.
appear.
Well, way to make yourself comfortable. This isn't your room.
Victoria sits in kind of one of the reclining chairs, leaning forward. I'm sorry, Gwyn, did you have something to say to me?
I want to go to bed. That's what I want to do. I don't want to deal with you.
Oh, you haven't had to deal with me for days.
Yes, and we'd like one day more. Can we please rest in our room that we bought
One
with
day
beds on it?
more.
Theater kids.
You already have inspiration. Jack, you get inspiration.
I already had inspiration.
Oh, you
I
guys are just that
also-
cool.
I just haven't.
We're so inspired.
We're actually.
I love giving out inspiration to musical theater references. Anyway,
Oh.
All I'm saying is this is not your room, and we are very tired because we just had a battle. Thank you so much. Going to bed.
no, have a seat.
I have a clarifying question.
Sure.
M&M counts as a musical theater reference?
Go ahead and have a seat for me.
How did you get in here?
The door.
Why did you get in here with no key when it's not your room? Is my
I
question.
seem to think that you might have a misconception of who is running the show.
No, I do know who you are.
Have a seat.
No, I'm gonna stand.
Is that so?
She said she's going to stand.
Make
Fine.
a wisdom saving throw.
20, not natural.
chest bells.
No!
Sit. And involuntarily, you sit down in one of the chairs.
Can you let go of whatever that was? I will sit.
The rest of you, kindly please take a seat.
I have, as we entered, paid him no mind, and I'm trying to go directly to bed.
Wisdom save.
I know.
Gwen is standing behind Stani.
Wisdom save.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
15.
Sit.
6.
Sit.
Well,
And
she sits on the floor.
against your wills and everything else, each of you take a seat by the fire and find it is very difficult to stand back up.
Does my chair have armrests?
Sure.
Would you say? I'm just.
Sure,
I second that.
sure, you can do that.
I don't know what that means.
That's a cultural difference. That's a culture shock.
Gwen can Can Gwen like put her hand on like the hilt of like a
Sure,
sword or her dagger?
sure.
That's yeah.
You did.
Just give her some clarity. I don't know if it's gonna do much.
I find that the more I let you loose from your leash, the more you pull.
You're speaking as if they're dogs.
And
They're human. Well, not
No,
human beings.
none of us are humans. None of us
They're-
are
Some
humans.
Single one.
humans.
I know.
They're human.
They're beings. They're people.
What do you say?
Gwyneth,
They're
I have
not
not come
objects.
to discuss where I value all of you.
Obviously not highly.
I have come to discuss the terms of our agreement,
Yes.
of the contract that you signed.
I couldn't wait until tomorrow.
Nope. Because tomorrow, at dawn, you will be at the ceremony. So the conversation must happen tonight, right now, before you sleep.
Let me get this straight. You would like to have a conversation about a contract after we've just fought a battle where you were not present at all, not even in the crowd, by the way, where, you know, we're all
Did
kind
you
of
look
on the
for me?
verge of...
Because I saw plenty.
Oh, Gwen is so mad. Oh, she's so mad.
I love when you don't let people have turns talking. It's so fun of you. Anyway, can we not rest a little bit?
No.
Not even eat, not drink, nothing.
Yeah, I think
Just-
you can wait. As the person who's been funding this endeavor, I think I have earned at least a little bit of that. A conversation before I leave you yet again. So, I've come to remind you of the contract. You are to take your cash winnings, but when we reach the moment of asking the favor from the king, it is my favor to ask. Understood?
No.
Oh?
If we don't, what happens?
Nastoni, you read your contract very carefully. Last time we were having discussions. Use your imagination.
Yeah, I can use it.
What kind of contract did they sign? Because I know what kind of contract I signed.
Do you?
As far as I know, it was just infernal, which is binding, given, but nothing in the contract stated anything to Panis. So I'm not exactly sure what that means, but at the same time,
I'm here to make a clarification, and hostilities have been quite unfair.
I'm tired. We just had a battle. Of course I'm tired and hostile.
not to mention you have not been very forthcoming with any information about yourself or about your intentions with these contracts, with the fact that you tried to get Icarus not to fight at all.
Well, Icarus,
Still.
Yeah.
how would you say that fight went for you? For all of you, really.
I would say we came out victorious.
I would say otherwise.
We're here standing, aren't we?
Not because of you.
Off in the distance.
That's true.
I mean, I know. But
Well, no thanks to you either.
This whole arrangement has been more difficult than I expected. I have had originally made endeavors to be positive and forthcoming, helping you how I can.
No.
Yes. How could you say that? I took care of the very specific Silesians coming after you.
The helping, I don't argue. The positive and forthcoming, I
Yeah.
definitely argue against.
I told you from the beginning what I want. It's the truth. Because there is a disagreement of personalities here, I think that you have all become distasteful.
distasteful.
So, I recognize you want nothing to do with me after this.
It is.
And I am just ensuring that that happens. And if you were to try anything, I would warn against it.
What would we try?
I had one simple condition for this contract to be fulfilled. You would receive all of the prize money, and I would receive the hearing.
What are you going to ask for?
The rank of nobility. To hold power within this city.
Why? What is your goal?
Because I have aspirations, Gwyneth.
Doesn't seem like they're positive ones. Considering none of us here can speak our mind unless we're...
You are free to speak, but you will sit.
But if we do speak out against you, we're unlikable company.
Not against me, the contract.
Against you.
I am not the contract. I am merely here to say my piece.
Say your piece.
You will agree to uphold the contract.
I signed a contract. Just say your piece.
Answer the question. You intend to uphold the contract.
You'll find out tomorrow, won't you?
I'll find out now.
How can we possibly know if we're upholding the contract when in your contract it said to win? When we don't, I mean, yes, we got here first, but how do we possibly know if we actually did win?
We don't. And if you lose, so be it. We go our own separate ways.
Thank the stars.
But in the small inkling of a chance that you win, you will uphold the contract.
If we uphold the contract, and if we do win, and you do gain your nobility, are we gonna have to still listen to you?
Afterwards,
With the so-called nobility you're going to get?
after I have made my request, you are released should we win. Should you lose, you will be released immediately, and we will part ways. But I am the one to make the request.
Somehow, I feel you get your nobility. People like us will still be affected.
then it would have been advantageous for us to get along, wouldn't it have, Gwen?
See, I don't get along with people that strive for nobility anyways, so I fear that was never a possibility.
Well, Gwen, you have to strive for something, otherwise you'll live on the street and play banjo all day, won't you?
Not alive, but okay. Yeah! What my girlfriend said!
I wasn't referring to you, but if you took it personally, I would.
Who
Look
were you
into that.
referring to, if not me?
A street performer with a banjo.
Alright. Continue saying your piece. You've never actually said your
Yeah,
piece, so
say
just
your
say your piece.
I have come here
Taken off and
to confirm that you will uphold your end.
And if you don't find out today, and you find out tomorrow,
Well, he's not leaving until he does.
I'll fall
Excellent
asleep in this
observation,
chair.
Icarus.
I will fall asleep in this chair.
You won't. Trust me.
That's so mean.
After this amount of time, am I able to get up?
I would say make a, if you're trying to, make a wisdom saving throw.
That is 20 plus 3.
Takes a great amount of effort, but you push yourself up off the chair. Kind of watches Grigori still just kind of watching.
I don't know why my choices matter so much to you, since I am so weak and helpless in your eyes. Trying again to go to bed.
I'm afraid I can't let anyone go to bed or rest until I get a confirmation.
Why do you need a confirmation? Let
Say
me
yes,
talk.
and I will be out of your hair.
Men like you may not understand, but where I come from, we hold to honor. And if we say we'll do something, we will do it.
A simple answer, something that I do understand.
Yes, it must be simple for you.
Simple answer is fine.
Why do you need confirmation when we are contractually obligated to follow what is in the contract?
Let me put it this way. I know you despise me, that you hate every inkling of everything that I do that is not seen. But the contract is binding, and should you disobey it, the consequences are heavy.
Which is again why I ask my question, why do you need confirmation if you know, and everyone who signed it knows that there is
What are you
consequences?
scared of?
I am not scared, but I am trying to convey the importance.
He's trying to hold the reins.
Seems like a man that's losing control to me.
Make an insight check.
While we're having this discussion, do I happen to see an amulet on him? You know,
Make a perception check.
or like to sense it?
A natural 20.
Everybody, this is important. Gwen, make sure you got him good. This is a big one. Get him good. As you try to delve into his eyes, look into what's going on behind his head. It's not control. He's scared. Not for himself. But it's almost as if you see a glint of compassion for all of you. So, I just need confirmation that you understand the terms.
We understand.
Thank you, Win.
Then we'll do it.
Thank you. Can you feel yourself released from this hold? You're able to walk to your
It was an Astani.
22.
22. I'd say you don't see anything. He has a lot of jewelry on under his cloak, but nothing visible. Nothing that strikes as like a familiar amulet. If that's what you're asking.
Can,
I honor the deals that I make.
And you will honor this one.
I said I honor the deals I make. So yes.
Astani.
A simple yes or no. Talking in circles has been what has created this divide amongst all of us, and I just wish
Well,
for simplicity.
you talked over my answer. I said yes, so.
I'm aware, but you started it off pretty bad without saying yes. Whereas a yes would have ended this conversation 20 minutes ago. And we could have all gone to bed and rest.
Can I talk to you in private?
You saying that to Corey? Of course. He stands up.
Sorry, guys.
Kind of watch as he moves his finger over towards the doors that open up the balcony. You watch the door slide open.
I follow him.
He walks out.
What are you so afraid of?
He's kind of taken aback for a second.
And I'm giving you the grace of not saying this in front of them,
And you are wise to do so.
but I want to know.
Gwyneth, you are relatively new to this arrangement, to this situation. But we are at the end of it. So, for my interest, and more importantly, for you and the ones you care about, you should see this deal to the end.
What is at risk?
There are things that are beyond you, beyond me, all of us. But there is a contract that has been signed, and I would implore you to make sure that not only you stick with the deal, but your friends as well.
Why come at this with such hostility? Why not come at this?
It is not hostility, it's being direct. I am being direct with what the outcome needs to be.
So, when you get, if you get this nobility, are you intending on stopping the threat?
Oh, right, sorry.
You can stop. You
My
can listen to
legs
this
are
part of the conversation.
covering.
Are you intending on stopping the threat?
I don't know what threat you're talking about, but the contract will end.
I think you know very well what I'm talking about.
And I think it would be wise of you to assume that private matters are best left private. You have made dealings with much more powerful beings, haven't you? Maybe still have.
Unintentionally, yes. But my intentions are not to put my friends in harm.
Well, know that they're not my intentions either. I do not wish for any harm to befall anyone. Not of your group, and especially of my own. So,
I will keep this between us, but I need to be sure that they will be fine.
Gwyneth, I have a newfound respect for you, for having deeper insight than some others. And I will give my word that I will do my best as long as the contract is upheld.
It will be upheld. I will make sure of it. I'll do what I have to make sure of it, but
I have to do is just rewatch this episode.
It's true. It's true. So, that being said, Grigori kind of steps out towards the middle. Excellent talk, Gwyneth.
Yes, I wish I could say the same.
Regardless of that comment, I wish for your wisdom to spread amongst your compatriots. You have a good head on your shoulders. Like that. Takes a
With
step
the,
up.
with his comment about the wisdom spreading just from his bed agrees. Just
Sure. Grigori steps out. Door shuts.
Before I go to bed,
Mhm.
I'm going to go out to the balcony and sit and meditate under the stars. And Astani's gonna reevaluate everything she's done and what she's supposed to be doing ever since leaving her country.
Okay.
Gwen goes to bed.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm gonna take a second.
Also,
and-
just if you weren't there, Gwen no longer has her friendship necklace. Just FYI. I remember that.
Heart broken. Mine is in half. Even though it wasn't actually a heart
A
in the
heart.
first place.
What happened to her necklace?
I just traded it for a good guy. For a good deed.
You trade it for Nastani's approval.
Approval rating up.
So before bed, I'm gonna pray again to Tempest and Shantae in thanks.
Okay. So soon, rain begins to settle in on this large city, and each of you, eventually, after your prayers, after your discussions, head to bed. But Herb, you have been following Valora down the street, and as the rain starts to pick up, it's been a long walk. Most of the shops are closed. You're not really sure where she's going, but she takes you to this kind of lower end of the southern market, down an alleyway, and just begins to furiously beat on a door in the alleyway. Just, and you hear some banging, some crashing, and eventually the door opens up, and from within the darkness you hear, "What?" And Valora speaks up. "My little friend here needs a favor from you, and he'd like it now." And you see the head peek out, and you recognize the kind of dark red skin and the kind of long pink hair of Khalees. And Valora kind of, "Herb, I don't know if you've met, this is my sister Khalees.
Huh.
What?
She's a blacksmith here, and she does some magic things, and they're very, very fun. They're very
What?
great. Anyway, Khalees, look what he has." And she kind of starts to kind of pull up the cord that's around her neck. And Khalees kind of looks at it. I've met Herb, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there when you were born. Okay, come in. And you see she kind of walks in, and are you giving her the kind of cord to work with? She kind of takes it and starts to light lanterns here and there, kind of snapping her fingers as lanterns ignite here and there. And Valora, seems to be making herself at home, kind of opening up display cases and like fiddling with the magic items inside. I believe you've been here.
This is almost as big as when I found out the fleet.
Yeah.
Fleet.
Laura just keeps the hits coming.
As Khalees kind of sets the cord on the table, what is this? And Valora kind of cuts her off. He wants a magic item or something. He wants, to be special, like the rest of us. She's very good at what she does. So just tell her what you want. Khalees, bags and eyes.
I'm not really sure what to do with it, but it looks pretty cool.
See Khalees look over to Valora, and Valora's like, "You heard him. Be creative." And Khalees kind of wipes her eyes. It's a cord. Give me a second. And she walks over to counter, pulls out some rings, and slips one on her finger. And kind of takes a second, and he watches. There's this orange flare in a magic circle underneath the kind of bundle of cord. Okay, there's a lot of dark magic, Shadowfell stuff. It's been shadow touched. Is this, you stole this from the arena creature, yeah?
I didn't steal it.
You're walking with Valora, I have no questions. I know, I get it. Is shadow touched? It's a cord. You want me to make you like a scarf? What are you wanting?
Oh, a scarf would be pretty cool.
Yeah, a
The
scarf.
captain's
How many
outfit.
scarves can you make? Can you make like 2 for me and my friend here?
She looks over to Valora, and Valora, who's kind of has this little knife and is spinning it on top of her finger, looks over back at Khalees. You heard him. And she kind of, you see Khalees kind of, well, it's still going to, and Valora kind of once again puts the knife down. Sister discount. Walks over and Khalees just, okay, but you're having to help me tonight. And kind of watch as Khalees looks at the materials, takes a minute, and kind of comes back with these larger knitting needles. And kind of puts a set in front of you, Herb.
Oh my god!
Will this give me like those cool little powers that the little guy had?
You
That
wanted
big
a
guy?
scarf, I'm making a scarf. I'm making 2 scarves for you and your friend.
Yeah. Would be cool.
It's just the sweetest smile on Valora as she picks up the knitting needles.
I love this.
Okay.
This is a sister dynamic I'm loving.
Yeah.
Come Herb, don't be rude. Pick up the needles.
Yeah.
And so,
Okay.
over some time, you guys just all sit around this this dining room table, knitting material out of this kind of strand of weave. So, that being said, that's about how your night goes. But by the morning, hopefully we'll have 2 cool scarves. So,
Maybe 3. Yeah,
Maybe.
enough yarn.
maybe 3 if there's enough of
Tendrils.
tendril left over. They're pretty long, so that's, I'm looking at like 1/3 of the length, so, right? Anyway, so, that's what
Are
you
you
get.
using-
Probably get 3.
You're using him as a measurement?
Probably get 3.
I'm just trying to
Let's see what happens.
if you
Yeah,
haven't,
yeah.
if it you ever worn a scarf?
Yes, I've worn a scarf.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you know how it like wraps around.
Infinity scarf.
3 infinity scarves, got it. So, Herb, that is about how your night goes, but maybe in the morning you'll get something out. That being said, the rest of you have been sleeping a few hours in the night. Who's sleeping closest to the door?
Me? Because I
No.
came in.
Well, if y'all two
Say
Oh,
are
actually,
in the
you know what?
potato bed,
Tell me what everybody's passive perception is.
Passive
18.
15.
14.
Alright. Icarus, you hear this.
so perceptive.
You've been asleep for a few hours until just you hear just constant. It's irregular. As you kind of perk up, it's coming from the door. The lights are out, but the ones in the hallway aren't. You see the figure of what appears to be a medium-sized human. There's no defining features. A little taller than you.
Let me just draw one of my hand crossbows and like over to the door. What?
You opening it?
I'm speaking through the door.
It's just heavy breathing. It's hard. It's irregular. It's
I don't like this.
it sounds hurt.
No, wake us up.
I'll just like at full volume, which should wake them up. Just like,
Sure.
what do you want?
What? Huh? Mashed potatoes. You touched an eyeball. You're worried about mashed potatoes.
What's going on, Icarus?
You hear mumbling from the other side as they just kind of
I'm gonna get up and get closer to the door,
some coughing.
and I'm gonna talk. Can I use my telepathy through the door to the person if I can see through the people, or whatever?
I'd say you try. It's not gonna do much. The question is, are you opening the door or not?
What do you want? I'm gonna
Is it Silas?
open the door.
Oh, yeah.
You open the door. As you open the door,
With,
Nastani.
I'm holding the hilt of my dagger.
Yeah, like, I've got my dagger.
Sure. You
We're
guys
all
all
in our
have your weapons.
pajamas.
What do you want?
Well, you open the door.
Or my moo-moo.
It is a dismal sight which you see. He is haggard. His beard is overgrown. There are numerous scars across his body. The kind of blue vestments that you're used to seeing him wear are torn, muddied, and he's soaking wet from the rain outside. He looks rough and beaten, but as his eyes meet you, you just hear Nastani, and Darrow collapses through the door, an arm out to try and catch himself, and kind of catches you on the shoulder and just slowly pulls you into a hug and just.
Darrow!
Hey.
How did... Are you coming?
And you watch as he just collapses.
I'm gonna bring him over to the fire.
Sure. He collapses, dead weight.
I have a healing potion.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Nastani kind of picks him up and brings him
And
over
I'm
to the fire
gonna-
to the chair.
Kind of like patch up his wherever.
He doesn't have any open wounds,
So
but
he's
he
good?
looks
We're good?
exhausted.
He's
Yeah.
good?
He looks.
Yeah, baby, he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. What? What?
Are you giving him the potion? Okay.
What? What? How? What? How did you find us? Where are you?
Seven.
What happened?
7. Okay. That does bring him back to consciousness. As Icarus kind of
And like putting a
Needs a
blanket,
potion,
and like
yeah.
finding, like grabbing like rations, anything on the table.
soaking wet, he kind of takes a second to process your questions. I'm sorry. It took so long.
No, you're fine.
I'm sorry. I feel horrible.
Why?
Do you need to rest?
That would be good, but I didn't mean to drag so much rain and mud in here.
It's fine. We have mashed potatoes here. If you're not.
I thought we were gonna mention the mashed potatoes.
Goodness, don't worry about it.
Why do we have to mention the mashed potatoes every chance you get?
Sorry, that's a bad
I'm sorry.
impression.
I just rode into town.
What? Yes.
I've been moving since Coley.
What's
Wait.
happened?
Where's Rena?
That's why I'm here. I waited for a week or so and nothing. So I went back to Coley and she wasn't herself. She didn't remember who she was or what, where, anything, so I tried to take her back to the healers that we met and caught.
Right.
And we rode there, and she just got progressively worse. And I went there, and they told me that they serve Moradin, and Moradin's a god of craftsmanship, not healers. But they promised to do what they could, and I've been riding since. I rode straight here in hopes to run into you all, because I figured you'd be ahead. I didn't know if I'd run into you or healers, but I came here for both. I came here because they told me that those in the Temple of Palor are skilled healers, and I went there, but I used everything I had to get here.
She wasn't herself, how?
She was acting strange.
I mean, I know when we left her, she was. The plant was.
I think it just affects her differently. And she was switching through seasons so fast. I don't know, I panicked and I did what I had to do. I just came here in search of a healer. Like I said, I used everything to get here, and I have 20 gold to my name and not enough to bring a whole caravan back to Cot. Or to bring Rena here. she's in no state to move. I'm sorry. I got here and went to the temple, and I met some healers there who said that there was a championship going on, and I recognized the Dragonborn, Chris.
Yes, Chris.
And I asked him what he was doing here, and he was unresponsive, but they said that his team fought an arena fight, and they told me to find them here, and he was wearing our banner. And you kind of see Darrow still has his Forerunner's banner on, tattered as is.
Yeah.
So I asked around, and they said you'd be here, so I'm sorry. It was a last-ditch effort.
No, you're fine.
I'm out of options. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. I mean, it's going to have to wait until tomorrow. Obviously, you need to rest.
If it can.
Can we make an insight check?
Sure. It's a check.
She
What are
was
you trying to figure out?
so, having grown up in the life of a hustler,
Sure.
I guess she's like suspicious because it seems like he's asking for money,
Okay.
like from his tone.
Sure.
I guess she's trying to see if he's who he says he is.
Okay. Yeah, make an insight check.
I mean, this is probably a long shot, dumb thing to
Certainly try.
figure out, but 15.
I would say, looks like Darrow, you didn't really know him for very long. You spent maybe a few days with him at most, but from what you can tell, it's him.
Yeah.
Whether he's asking for money right now, which may be the case,
Yeah.
it does seem that he's being very truthful about it.
Okay.
He seems to be talking out of necessity.
Okay. Well, you can stay as long as you need. Rest. Do you need food?
If you have any, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm like shoving like rations and like
Sure,
the
sure.
leftover stuff.
You guys can get actual
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
I know.
I
I just didn't know if at like 3 a.m. like they're gonna
I
be
mean,
up.
Bars
that's
closed.
Or closed. The end's open. Darrow got it.
yeah. I mean, I'll go down and see if
Sure.
we
You
can
go
get him
down.
food and make it bed for him.
The night
Darrow,
bars open.
Yeah.
There's one or two patrons, but you go get food. But
What do you need from us? How can we help?
Look, I am in a tough spot. I need to go back to Rena as soon as I can, but I don't have the money to get healers for her. And well, it's hard for me to ask, but at the same time, I'm hoping you'll understand.
Of course we understand.
Can I? You fought tonight, didn't you?
Yes.
Which means you were in the line to place, right?
Yes.
And regardless of the position, there's a reward. I was hoping, though I haven't been with you for the last 2 fights, I could take my cut to get healers for Rena, and I swear to you, I will pay you back. I swear to you, he kind of begins reaching in his bag and kind of taking the small kind of items that he does have. His old sword, kind of just his ring of protection. He kind of takes off. Just hold it on as leverage, whatever you want. If you don't trust me, I know.
I do trust you. You can take my cut. No.
I
You-
owe
you-
it to
you can-
Rena.
I don't want your cut. Let me take.
Darrow, I'm fine. I promise. You can take my cut.
Just kind of sits and puts his heads in his hand. And it's a mixture of, can't tell if, maybe he's weeping. He's pretty wet, but just big sigh of relief. So, if it's all right, if I could just come with you tomorrow to the collect, and I'll be backing out. Take my ring. I can't really give you the sword. It
Attached, I know.
kind of flashes for a second. He watches the kind of flaming sword pops into his hand once again. Just it's flashes away. It stuck with me.
will travel with you to Kant as soon as the ceremony is over tomorrow.
You would?
I
I
owe
would
it to
too.
Rena.
Both do.
Thank you.
We know what happened last time we traveled to Con, so.
Rena didn't quite make it. Thank you. I will, thank you. I don't know what to do.
Alright, so they were out of like fish, but they did have shrimp.
The popcorn shrimp.
I know
Sure.
we're kind of sick of popcorn shrimp, but I'm sure you. I mean,
Kinda bring
beggars
it
can't
over
be
a big
choosers.
bowl of shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you bring it over and he's like, looks at you and just starts eating it. He's obviously been on horseback for
Yeah.
weeks, maybe about a week and a half, week or two, and it's kind of just been nonstop travel on that ramshackle old horse you guys left him. Not the best one, Grigori's old horse. But
Maybe that's what it's the horse.
the horse,
It's the horse.
it probably wasn't. The horse was not comfortable. It wasn't comfortable before, but the birds were definitely better. But he kind of just sits eating the food and stops for a second. Look, seriously, and he kind of picks up the ring.
Oh,
Take it. It's all I can trade right now.
you don't have to feel like you owe anything.
No,
You are- Darrow, you're a friend. I'll hold on to this if it makes you feel better. Of leverage or something. But
I
you're
just-
a friend.
I know I'm just asking for a lot, but I promise. I just need to get Rena help. If it'd be all right, I'd like to go with you to the ceremony. I can collect the cash, and if you'd like to come with me, we can all go to Cut together.
Yes.
Right afterwards.
And thank you for taking care of her.
Of course. Of course.
Stop.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe it.
Rena, I mean, she was one of our first teammates.
I haven't talked to Grigori.
It's
We
okay.
have.
We've already talked to him.
Too much.
Is he okay with me?
Oh no, not about you. Just in general, we've talked to him. Bit of a dick.
Do I
but-
need to talk? Is he here? Do I need to talk to
I
him?
don't think you need to worry about Grigori. I don't think
he
he's
did
gonna care about the
terminate your
money.
contract. Didn't he?
He did.
He terminated your and Rena's contracts.
Because he says that he had not seen you in such a while.
I'll go talk to him then. I'll get it restored.
I don't know that that's necessary.
It's not necessary. You can
Well,
take
if I'm going to be there,
I'm saying
Just-
if you feel
I'll
like it's
talk to
if you feel like it's necessary.
I'm a smooth talker.
Darrow.
Are
I'm
you?
saying Darrow.
Yeah.
Darrow. I'm saying if you're trying to renew this so you feel like you need to get your cut, I'm saying you can take mine. I'll be going with you to cut.
Look, let's just. I'll talk to Grigori and get back in, and we can split it how we did. And if it costs more to get clerics to cut, then we'll use your cut, okay? But if it can just be my sliver, I'd prefer it that way.
Okay.
So that we can make up in the long term easier. I'll talk to Grigori. He's push over from what I remember.
Your memory may be damaged.
Maybe a little bit.
Not quite.
He kind of seems worn out, and it might be the fatigue talking, but
Let's just rest.
Focus on resting first. The ceremony's at dawn, so.
in a few hours.
Yeah.
Yay.
Great, awesome, cool.
Good. Rest. Alright, rest.
Kind of just lays down on the kind of the sofa here.
We
No,
We
we
have
have
beds.
beds.
We have.
Yeah.
Oh, that's way better.
Yeah.
Kind of stands up and just kind of topples over into one of the kind of unoccupied beds.
Can we
Take-
give him the mashed potato bed?
Yeah, if you want to. You can direct him towards it.
Okay, no, I'm not.
Then he stumbles towards the nearest one. Mud, water goes with him as he kind of
We should've
collapses
put
in
him
the bed.
mashed potato bed.
Um,
Then I dirtied up another one.
so, with that, you kind of watch as Darrow collapses, haggard and tired. He's seen better days, but
I'm going to try and go back to sleep.
as you all do. So, as you all go back to sleep, who knows what the morning has in store? As you all complete your long rest, I'll say that. You too, her. And knit your scarves. That is where we're going to end tonight's game.
The lore.
The lore!
has a sister.
The lore.
So, yeah, cool. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I'm going to stop the rain effect because it's making me big sleepy.
I know, right?
Right? Oh my gosh.
We
the
need a long
great,
rest.
great app, Pocket Board. Cool. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching tonight.
We should
Tune
all
in.
spike the mics real quick in case someone fell asleep from the rain.
Yeah, right. Wake up! Hey, wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! What you doing? Forget about it. What?
You
Rewind.
missed the whole.
You missed
the whole
it.
The
thing.
Valora
You missed the
lore.
big
The Valora
reveal.
lore.
Gregory has
Someone
gained
came
weight.
back from the dead. Darrow came back from the dead. Would
Darrow
you believe it?
came
You
back from
wouldn't watch
Not
the episode.
clickbait.
He didn't die. He just waited. He was like, "I'll just chill." Okay.
I'll chill in a bar.
Whatever. Anyway, so thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Don't remember, guys, we're
Don't
having
remember.
an Act 1 recap soon, and we
Recap.
want some conversation topics, some questions for the cast. Like,
No.
you know, why is Nastani the way she is? What's with the crystals?
And
she
why
just-
haven't we seen her dog in months?
Yeah, where's her dog hiding?
Yeah.
Why
In
won't
her
she show us her
dimension.
dogs?
Please stop talking about my dogs.
You know, lots of questions. So make sure to fill the comments with those. You put in multiple questions. Ask me anything. Not anything. Yeah, Ethan, you got anything cool to say?
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Do that too.
Yeah, do that too. Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Yeah,
Notification bell. Get
Notification.
notified.
Follow
Yeah.
us on Instagram
Yeah,
and TikTok at the
That'd be
Wayward
cool.
7.
That'd be cool. All right, so good night, everybody.
Good night.
I gotta fade back.